Daniel, welcome back to the second episode in Gouna for Xuru Talks. Previous episode was very amazing. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you too enjoyed it. This episode, we'd love to talk more about the business itself here in Gouna and what's happening with the guests and how we can improve the experience of the owners. And we would love to give examples on how we are doing a big difference in the industry here in Gouna. So to begin with, tell me, how do you recognize golden apartment role with the owners different from the owner running their unit by themselves or just giving it to a regular broker?
Definitely there is a lot of advantages that come from a scale. The teams, we have our own maintenance team, we have our own housekeeping team. Now we are in the process of opening our own laundry. We have our own reservation team. We have a permit team. We have a communication team. We have our finance team, marketing team. So basically, we have experts in those fields responsible for those roles, and I think this increases our consistency. The success in short-term rentals, it comes from the consistency. If we are hosting from 60 to 80 reservations in a unit a year, the consistency sooner or later will show. So the better your consistency in delivering five-star experiences, the better the reviews, the better relations with the guests, and you have more repeating guests. The better relations with the property owner, because the property is in a good condition and it's always representable. It's always it's always up to standard. So definitely, I remember like years ago when the scale was lower, there was a lot of challenges in the operations, especially in the housekeeping, in the laundry, in the maintenance. Everything that was outsourced was far from perfect. And the challenge in Gouna is also the seasonality. You have high seasons like Eid, like New Year, Easter, where the demand goes up 3, 4, 5 times. Mm-hmm. Which means all Gouna is busy. All properties are rented. All the housekeeping teams, all the laundries, all the maintenance people, everyone is busy. So it's very hard to rely on them because it's a headache. It's a real headache. Those few days of the high season, it's a real headache. So everyone is super busy. So probably having those services internally
in-house is much better.
Makes your service more consistent and you don't struggle in the high seasons versus when you are outsourcing everything.
And the laundry, you said you're opening your own laundry, because personally...
Finally. I'm so excited.
Personally, we have been trying all the laundries, not just in Gouna, even in the Red Sea, we go to Hurghada, but we couldn't find the laundry. They just throw the linen in the washing machine and they don't classify. If it has like ink, it needs some special treatment. If it has blood, it has some special treatment. They don't classify. They just put it in the washing machine and that's it. And you have to pay for it.
Now I remember a very funny story actually related to Xuru. One time I go to the house and I go to the room and I find the towel on the bed labeled Xuru. And I'm speaking to the property coordinator, like, we are golden apartments. I came to the right unit. What happened here? Oh, it's the laundry, they mixed up everything, they gave us other stuff. So this is very common issue, you know, and bedding is expensive now, yes. And you need a lot of bedding throughout the year.
At least 3 sets per year.
At least if there is no damages to the bedding.
No damages, and with the perfect laundry doing its job. Like personally, now we have our own laundry, and it removed a lot of headache. Like depreciation became less. We used to spend more on bedding, more than 3 sets per year, but now we reached the 3 sets, which is amazing for a house that has occupancies that sometimes reaches 80% or something from all over the year. So 3 sets is a good number, not to be damaged. Other laundries, maybe those 3 sets just finish in 6 months.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience, and I'm very excited. Looking forward to start. I'm sure it's gonna be challenging in the beginning, but later on it will pay off, because we'll have consistency, nothing missing, and at the end of the day, the guest is spending like 1/3 of the time during their stay in the bed.
Okay, of course.
So
of course.
it's a very important ingredient,
of course.
in a short-term stay, the bedding.
Now, tell me about the kind of damages that the guests make in the house, and why would the owner work with a professional property management company regarding this issues of the damages? Okay. How far it could reach? I will listen to your example first, and then I will tell you what happened with us.
Look, there are different kind of damages, but like the real bad ones are like when there is something damaged that cannot be fixed quickly, and it may affect the upcoming reservation. So having our experienced maintenance coordinators, they've seen so much in their experience that they already have quick solutions, and we also keep some spare inventory of specific items that we could replace in the property. So if the coffee machine got broken,
you have an extra one.
We have an extra one. If the Wi-Fi got broken, we have a spare router.
Exactly.
So for like
water heaters also.
Even we have a spare mattress, a spare sofa, you know. So if something happened to anything in the house, like usually we'll find a solution. We'll find a solution so that it doesn't affect the upcoming guests. Mm-hmm. But like even the spare appliances, like if the fridge is not cooling, and I'm calling the brand, and they are telling me they will send a technician maybe after tomorrow. So that
you need a spare fridge to fix it immediately. Yeah,
exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
So that, because otherwise it's gonna affect your upcoming guests. If it's gonna affect your upcoming guests, you'll either lose money, you will have to make refunds, and most likely you will lose credibility because you will get a worse review.
Of course.
So these are the situations that is definitely helping us. Another thing.
How far it went, the damages from the guest?
Well, one time we had a guest who was speeding, and he crashed into a villa in Ancient Sands.
Wow.
He damaged the Gouna infrastructure, the lamp, the whole fence. Like the damage was huge. So it was damaged property and damaged Gouna infrastructure. So Airbnb wouldn't help you with the Gouna infrastructure, because this didn't happen
inside the house.
And actually
the insurance only runs on the house itself.
Exactly, it applies only to the property that you are hosting. So if the guest damage another property, you're
out of the insurance.
You're out of the insurance. So I mean that's the responsibility of the property management company. Like you have to find a resolution to this problem, and luckily we managed to have the guest cover this damage, both with the owner and with the Gouna, and our maintenance team like managed this quickly. So actually it was resolved with great help from Gouna maintenance team and the security team. I think it was resolved within 24 hours. So yeah, this was a success story, but it was very stressful, definitely.
We had a similar issue with one of the guests went to open the water for the jacuzzi, the hot tub on the roof at Tawila, and went downstairs to sleep, and it overflow the water, and it damages the whole roof, and it damages the building and the apartment underneath and the apartment underneath. So it make damage not only to the property, to the neighbors themselves.
How did you manage this? How did you solve this?
We raised the case with Airbnb and we asked the guests to pay, but till this situation got fixed, we started paying to Rascom to fix the building and fix the roof for the owner and fix the building itself for the neighbor underneath and the one underneath him, because the water fell 2 stories down.
So basically,
and they made
your
amazing
company
job.
took the responsibility
exactly.
of the majority of the issue.
Exactly.
And in the end, the owner didn't have to.
The owner, of course, didn't have to pay anything because it's our liability. Any damage by the guest or damage by our team, sometimes housekeeping or cleaning people that you have, sometimes they make damage to the apartment, and you have to be covering all of that. We paid in full, but luckily Airbnb insurance, because we had the full paper documentation of everything, they paid back. But the house now like brand new, and also the apartments underneath are fully satisfied with the repair work from the Orascom maintenance team. It was a great job, and we took the responsibility, and now everything became like brand new. But I see that damages of guests sometimes reaches not just small fixes or a espresso machine that be changed, or a fridge that needs to have a replacement. Sometimes it reaches a higher level at a huge cost. I remember this damaged apartment costed around 165,000 Egyptian pound to be fixed, the apartment and the whole building itself.
Oh wow. So that was heavy. That was heavy.
It was, but luckily everything went easy.
Well, we also we are very careful when it comes to selecting the guests, and we run our database with the guests that misbehaved in the past. So we try to avoid. I mean, we try to avoid bad guests, basically.
Yes.
This is
Troublemakers are not welcomed anymore.
Exactly.
And I wish Orascom management have this hub that they are talking about right now, to have our bad troublemaker guests shared with them, and your bad troublemaker guests shared with them, and they are banned from the whole Gouna, because one troublemaker make a trouble with us guests that make problems. Next time he will be making a reservation at Golden Apartments and making a new problem. So if we have this shared hub, I'm sure that we'll be removing a lot of troublemakers to not make one trouble at Xuru stays and another one at Golden Apartment, or vice versa, and to filter all those bad guests.
Definitely.
Hopefully we will achieve this soon.
Definitely, because a bad tenant can really. It's not only about even damaging something at the property, but like it's hurting another one.
Neighbors.
It's yes, of course, community. Like we
unplanned parties.
We don't allow parties. We have very strict rules when it comes to
Same
music.
here, yes.
Like 10 p.m. There cannot be any music around the unit. If there is any complaint, and we try to stay in touch with the neighbors of the specific property, and with the security which is patrolling the specific compound. If we get any internal report that the guest is misbehaving, then we take swift action, and we basically inform the guest that this cannot be repeated. If this will be repeated, your stay will be terminated. And of course it can escalate even to being
blacklisted,
put it on the blacklist in Gouna.
Yeah.
And I don't think guests want to be blacklisted from Gouna. So I mean, it's this is a headache, especially when people they are not following this. This is a headache, but our team is alert, and we are always ready to solve such situations, so that nobody
Nice.
from the neighbors or residents is affected. And I think it's very important, for the sustainable
We have to give back to the community. We are already working next to neighbors, and we have to be protecting for them also.
Definitely, because we are operating in the residential compounds, so being
Guests have full freedom, but their freedom should not affect the freedom of other neighbors.
Definitely, and that's a very strong value that all our coordinators and the team is learned about. That if there's a neighbor affected, I mean, yes, guests are the most important, but not only and not always. Sometimes the guest is not right, and sometimes the guest is misbehaving. So basically you have to control it as an operator. If you want to have a sustainable business and good relation with the community and smooth work, you have to be strict. You have to be strict, and you have to follow the rules. If people follow the rules, then everything is fine.
Amazing. Away from the problems, what about the pricing?
Oh, pricing is a big thing actually, because there can be a unit there can be a 2-bedroom unit and another 2-bedroom unit in the same compound looking in a similar way, but their financial performance can, like, they can be identical units, and it will generate, in some cases, it can even generate double rent, because it's all about the dynamic pricing, and
Exactly.
and there are moments in a year where like the price needs to be up because the demand goes up, and you have to react to that and always take advantage of this. Otherwise, you will be leaving rent on the table.
Exactly.
And then on the other hand, there are situations where the demand is even less than expected.
Very low
and-
demand, yes.
And if you will stick to the specific minimum rate, you will end up being unrented. And when you're unrented, there's zero revenue from this night. So sometimes going down is better because you're filling these gaps. And then at the end of the year, all those gaps that you filled, they will accumulate to a much higher revenue. So dynamic pricing is very important, and I believe it's very important also to look at the AI softwares and stay up to date with this, and also to stay up to date with the market. So my team often make phone calls before like every high season, and they call other agents and companies to check the pricing, to make sure like we are aligned. But on the other hand, like for example, very busy high seasons, usually we set prices much higher in the advance. I mean, much higher. Every year, there's inflation, all the costs are going up, so there has to be also appreciation in the rental nightly rates. And
the unit itself price is already increasing on a yearly basis.
Exactly. So also from like the capital perspective, like there has to be a certain ROI maintained. So the prices of nightly stays, they have to go up every year. So we have to keep increasing the high seasons every year. But sometimes, sometimes it's not easy to rent. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes I hear this feedback when my team is doing the research that, we have the highest prices in town, us and Xuru, and majority of the market is much less. So like they're trying to put this pressure on us to go down. But then if we do that, then people also align with us. People go to our website and they check our prices, and they align their pricing with us. So if we are going down, everyone else will also go down. And then at the end of the day, it's not good. It's not good. So
it's like a rebel effect. You go down and he go lower more, and then the other one go lower more, and we take the prices, and all the prices will be at a lower rate.
Exactly. So it's important to set the strategy and stick to the strategy, and don't panic. I know it gets stressful before when you are like 7 days before the high season, people get stressed. Even sometimes homeowners are asking to reduce the prices because they want to ensure that the house will get rented. But we always get rented in the high seasons. Like we reach 100% occupancy. So it's all about the strategy and being patient, and you should not react too fast, because then the whole market will go down.
Especially the Gouna does not have only just very low demand days and very high demand days. There is a lot in between.
There's a lot in between.
And by regular mind, they cannot figure out which is the maximum possible night rate that they could reach, because always the supply and demand meet in between. And if they will result in occupancy, sometimes 10% of Gouna is occupied, sometimes 20, sometimes 25, sometimes 30, 40. Every day has its own supply and demand meeting. There is not just lower demand days and higher demand days. There is different kind of demands that's happening all over the year. Sometimes the occupancy ends up on 50%, sometimes 70%. So each day, to reach its maximum possible night rate that it could be booked with, it needs a lot of AI tools and a lot of market research to put the unit every day to at its highest maximum possible night rate that it could attain. And I think not all the companies work like that with the AI tools, like you're doing. A lot of companies and brokers, they just have 3 or 4 prices they sell the unit at: low demand, high demand, and moderate demand, and highly moderate demand. It's not like using AI tool. I think you sell the unit at even 40 different night rates all over the year.
Look, when a homeowner reviews our statement, usually he will find that every reservation was traded at a different nightly rate. They are never the same.
Exactly.
Because of dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing, yes, yes. What else makes the owner working with professional companies like Xuru Stays or Golden Apartments more beneficial than working with regular brokers or doing the business by himself?
Peace of mind. When you are giving your property to someone experienced and trusted, then you are basically enjoying a passive income. And passive income is when you are actually receiving income every month and you don't need to be involved and have extra work related to that or stress about it. You're just receiving it on a monthly basis. And also you have control. You have access to the system, so daily you can, at any time, you can just go to the system and see how your property is performing. So you already know what to expect at the end of the month, and then you get your statement on a monthly basis. And basically, also another benefit is that many homeowners also like to enjoy their property in Gouna. It's not just investment; it's also a vacation home for them. So it's very important that like you take care of maintenance, that like it's always maintained at the top level, because when the owner comes here only 2 or 3 times a year, he doesn't want to be bothered with some unexpected work when he's just here for 7 days. He wants to focus on his family time. So we always take the owner arrivals, like we notice them in advance. And our team goes already in the property like
earlier
before
to finish the maintenance and make the house brand new.
So if there is anything bigger that's more time consuming, then we try to already spot this in advance. So this is very important, that like the owner comes and you know, he feels like at home. It's a home. Everything is clean. Everything, there is a bedding, there is supplies, all the internet is paid and working. AC is the filters are clean, and everything is maintained. There's no stains. Like for that, we are utilizing special tools. Like we have a special machine for removing the stains. We have a ozone machine, which is basically if we are dealing with a bad smell in the unit, we put the ozone machine, and then after 1 hour, like the whole air is refreshed. So so basically, this way we're making sure that the owner will have a great stay. And on the other hand, when he's not here, his property is working, and most of the time. And for some homeowners are not renting their homes. There's some homeowners that come to Gouna a few times a year, and the rest of the year the house is closed. This is because there's some misconception that like the renters abuse the house and the house it will be damaged. So yeah, it can be damaged. It can be assumed if it's managed in the wrong way. But if it's managed professionally, then actually as a homeowner you will come to the property which is maintained, and you won't face any issues. And when a property is closed for a very long time, sometimes there are actually maintenance issues related to the fact that the property was not used for so long. Some appliances, they are defaulting when or the pipes, they can get blocked. So I think it's healthy for the home to work, to be used every month, not to stay closed for 6 months.
If it is closed for a longer period of time, maybe water leakage from the heater itself. One owner took the decision to give us its apartment to work it as a short-term rental, because when he used to close it as in his idea to save it for his use, he came with a water leakage that fell all of the apartment, and his vacation turned it up to be fixing everything. And from this point, he chose that it should be rented, because if there is a problem happened, they will know about it and maintain it, and I will have everything running and in a good quality when I come. So I totally agree with what you're talking.
And also another very good point is that when there is income and when there is guests, like we keep improving and upgrading those houses. So actually, So actually there is the revenue to cover this, and the owner, after a few years of cooperation, every time he's coming to a better home. You know,
of course.
he can keep improving it because there is income and there is feedback of the guests. So also the guest expectations are changing. The guests are more demanding now. They need more things in the house. Like now versus 8 years ago, it's something else. Now coffee machine 8 years ago, it didn't exist in the short-term rental here.
Now it's
now in a premium property, it's important to be there. You know, if it's not there, it might be mentioned by the guest. Also the heated pool. Back then, I mean, you didn't need to have a heated pool to rent the property. But now the guests are basically, if they're coming in the colder part of the year and the pool is not warm enough, they're not gonna enjoy it, and then they will avoid your property. So this is actually making a big difference for the properties with pool that heated or not heated. If it's heated, you're gonna gain every winter month. You're gonna get more nights rented, and without it, you will just get less bookings. So it's
less bookings means less income, of course, right?
And some owners, when they come only twice or three times a year, it's not really, it doesn't make economical sense to buy a heater. Mm-hmm. But when the house is being rented, it makes much more sense to purchase the heater.
Well, thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking with you, and we hope to meet again in another episode. And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
It was a real pleasure.
Thank you. See you. Thank you. Bye.